the heavens have absolutely definitely opened here at Teesside. Any much wet weather setup you've done on the bike?
Yeah, we did. We had a wet qualifying earlier today. I managed to put on pole by about a second, so I know we're good for the wet, but not this wet. So it's anyone's race today.
At least it's not in between. Good luck.
Well, finally, we have a rider that's had chance to test these conditions in qualifying. Looking for the green flag. Bike's revving. Easy does it, and they're away with the CRF150 pit bike open. And I think Dane Blackburn has made that whole shot. I'm pretty sure that was our interviewee. He's made it down to turn 2. He's under pressure there from Richard Holmes-Williams on bike 126. Into the mountain section, and it's a leading battle of 4. 5th place is bike 7, which I think is Simon Betts. He's bringing through the rest of the pack. In fact, we've got two pairs now. We've got 1st and 2nd, Dane Blackburn and Richard Holmes-Williams fighting for the lead, and behind them it looks like Pete Ward and Max Hardy. And at least they're on wet tyres now, so I think they're a little bit more accustomed to these conditions than our previous class. Into the bus stop, onto the back straight. How committed will they be into the big south bend? I think they're fairly on it. Down into hairpin 3. Tip it in gingerly into hairpin 4. Bit of an off camber here. Better be careful getting back on the throttle. Left, right. Not normally a corner in the dry, but actually it could be quite tricky here with the surface change. Into the bus stop, onto lap 2, and it's Dane Blackburn. Just a 1/10 of a second clear of Richard Holmes-Williams. Pete Ward, Max Hardy, Ty Kinton has come through in 5th place, ahead of Simon Betts. Sam Jones losing a little bit of ground. Leslie Noble, Ben Riley, Luke Bithell makes up the top 10.
It's definitely raining now. Definitely raining. But at least it's not that in between it was on the last race where you got some lads on the slick sides. These lads will be on full wets, and in this class you've got a lot of experience. With the younger guys like Dane, for example, he's an ex super stock BSB rider, so they know the way around a bike. They know how to handle the bike in the wet. And these are out front you got the CRF150s, which are the highly modified Honda motocross bikes. So these are a really strict bit of kit. And Dane out front, number 114. I know he had his dynoed over the winter and it was kicking out well over 30 horsepower. So they got a fair bit of a grunt to him.
Yeah, and I think it was Dane you were talking to on the grid here. At least these lads have had a chance to test in these conditions in the qualifying session. Yeah, I think that's the point he was making. So they're at least got their eye in for the wet track.
Yeah, absolutely. And if they did make any setup changes, suspension, obviously the tyres, hopefully didn't spend too much time faffing around. So the faff factor would have been relatively low.
Yeah, and clearly we just saw a message there. Dane's got the family watching at home. Apex to apex into the mountain section. So I'm thinking coming across the top here and down, we can't really see here, but that'll be off camber. Will that be a bit tricky in the wet now?
Yeah, that'd be absolutely not terrible in wet, but very, very difficult in wet. As you go up the hill, obviously we can't pick up on the cameras, but going across the top of the hill, you go across the crest, and the rear end really does like try to get away from you, especially on these, so kicking out 30 odd horsepower. The rear end around there will be trying to get away from them. And they'll be trying to get that power as quickly as possible to get the bike sat upright and get down the straight.
Richard beginning to press here, looking for a way by. If it's on, he's going to go for it, I fear. Looks to the inside, but Dane's got that line covered.
You can see even in the wet that these bikes really are pressing on. Dane's knee down all the way.
I'm guessing that even the bends now become quite tricky in the rain here with the surface changes and the cambers and stuff.
I think it'll be okay now because it's really wet. The wet tyres, the PMT, well, vast majority we're running the PMT wet tyres on these bikes. And one of the best things about these bikes is the tyres.
Yeah.
You know, they really do stick well, and they really do hold well. And having ridden around Teesside in the wet, it's not a bad track in the wet. It doesn't turn into a skid pan like several of the tracks we have ridden at do go to. It's a nice track. It's not a bad track to ride in the wet, so these will have confidence in the tyres.
You know, it's a leading battle here, but Pete Ward is not out of this. This could easily turn into a three-way dice here for the lead.
Yeah. Pete's. I think Pete will definitely pressing on. I think he'll be just holding back a little bit, seeing if these two make a mistake or come together at some point, so he can capitalise on that.
And of course, while the leading pair dice, there's a sort of that in the back of your mind, where is he, what's he doing, and it's sort of throwing you off your own game, giving Pete a chance to close in.
Yeah, I think the front two are definitely wary, but knowing Dane very, very well, I know for a fact if he's looking straight forward, he won't worry about anyone else who's behind me. He'll just be trying to get those lap times down as much as possible. I was talking to him earlier on this morning. He's got a GPS timer on the front of that, so he's very wary, and he knows exactly what kind of lap times he's running and where he is in the running order. So, yeah, he'll be looking straight in front of him. He won't worry about anyone behind him.
So Dane Blackburn's lead was just a tenth of a second ahead of Richard Holmes Williams on that last lap. Pete Ward is in range here, just 1.5 seconds off the lead. Fourth place is still Max Hardy, 2.8 seconds off the lead. Ty Kinton has moved back to 5th place. Simon Betts in 6th. And I'm just going to refresh timing here.
Coming back to what we were discussing in regards to the instructors and how you get into it, I know that Ty runs Ty Kinton, who's running at 5th. He runs a race school, and he came down and helped us out at one of our stressed track days. Very experienced guy, and he knows his way around the bike, and so I think he's on Facebook. So if you've got any questions, make sure you give him a shout.
So I think we might have had an issue with the timing. So we can be certain that Dane Blackburn is leading still.
Yeah, we've got Dane's slightly checking out at the front now, but it looks like Peter Ward is really keeps on cutting that curb out a little bit if he doesn't like that bit of tarmac. But yeah, he's pushing on now, trying to get onto Richard O'Williams. Is he going to get down the inside? Yeah, that's confident, that is.
Oh, we've lost someone in the background. The good thing is there's no furniture out there, so
Yeah.
so long as you don't mind sliding.
Yeah, he decided to forget pit bike racing and take it to bogganing today.
But put it this way, he's getting back on if he can. If the controls are all in the right place still, he will remount and get back into this race.
Yeah, I don't think much damage would happen there. The bike would have just slid, maybe hit the curb, but it's probably more his pride that's hurt today than his bike. He gets 10 for style.
Well, at least we got it live on television, so that'll be played back in that household. So I believe that we are into the closing stages. You'll have to forgive us, we are still having a few timing errors. In fact, that I've got a feeling, have we finished? No, I can't. I think we'll just have to keep going until we figure out where we are with the live timing. Dane Blackburn continues to lead on bike 114.
Pete Ward's now in second. Richard Williams, in third. Live time's back up and running now. So Dane's actually coming through the back markers now.
Ben Riley on bike
No, it looks like
169.
they've had to reset the live time,
Yeah.
so Ben Riley's not in first. It's still Dane Blackburn with Pete Ward in second, Richard Williams in third.
I was just going to say, Ben must have done something very quietly off camera for him to get to the lead. It's still Dane Blackburn on bike 114 leading from Pete Ward, who might be getting closer, having taken care of Richard Holmes Williams. I don't think Dane's going to have this all his own way at the finish here. I think Pete might be able to get closer.
Yeah, Pete's definitely catching up on him now. think Dane really needs to start pushing on now. So he won't be looking behind him. He won't worry about anyone behind him. But he needs to start pushing on now because I think Pete's going to have him in the last lap.
He's still taking his own special route through the exit of the bus stop.
I'm sure the clerk of the course is definitely taking that one into account.
That's probably that's probably me out of friends with Pete Ward now, giving away his secret. But he's right on the rear wheel now. Over the crest and onto the back straight. We've got a back marker ahead, which might yet come into play before the finish.
This is where the slipstream comes in. He'll be trying to get as close as he can to the back of Dane. Flat out down the straight into the S's. Is he going to look down the inside on the left? No. It's really wet out there.
I was going to say,
now.
that is proper wet now.
Yeah, that is really wet out there. But you can see with Dane and and Pete, they are pressing on, so they've got confidence in the tyres, which is good. We've got 2 laps to go. I think that Pete's just going to keep an eye on Dane now. He's going to push on, trying to get into him. So he's taking a nice wide line there, trying to get the bike up right as much as possible, get his weight off the bike.
Will this be the final lap board this time? It's the checkered flag. We've been done again.
Yeah.
So,
Foiled by technology.
you know, whenever it starts to rain, the technology just does not work as well as it might. So Dane Blackburn wins the CRF150 pit bike open class race 1 from Pete Ward by 6/7 of a second. Richard Holmes Williams is coming through to finish 17 seconds off the lead. Max Hardy finishing in front. Well, I think we're going to go straight to it here. Everybody wants to crack on. We're looking for the green flag to drop. We're racing in the pit bike open CRF 150 class, charging down to turn 1. I almost don't want to say charging down because I could see people going down here if they push too hard down into turn 2. Will they make it through? Yes, they will. Will they all make it through is probably a better question. And indeed they do. Sensible riding here in treacherous conditions into the mountain section. I'm sure they've been chatting to people who've just been out to get an idea of how the track might have changed since race 1. On the back straight, someone's dropped it, but he's getting back up. That's the spirit. I really like that. This kind of just get on with it style of racing. You drop it, you get back on, and if the bike will run, you run it. So our leaders are heading into the bus stop on the back straight to round out lap 1. Ooh, third place there, nearly threw himself off the high side there, getting back on the gas past the first apex into hairpin 3 of the infield. Pressing on, we'll set this field as they come through the finish line. I think that is Dane Blackburn in the lead, but we'll let them come through and I'll confirm it as we go through. Indeed it is. I thought I recognised him. Pete Ward is in second place, Richard Holmes Williams third. He's 3.5 seconds off race leader Dane Blackburn. Sam Jones, Ty Kinton slipping down the field. So it's Simon Betts in 5th, Leslie Noble, Liam Bassett, Ty Kinton, Ben Riley, Nathan Drury, Nick Alcock, and Sophie McGinn hasn't come through yet. I suspect she dropped it on the mountain, and that probably is Sophie stood on the mountain section. We've lost somebody else out the back as well. Our race leader though, Dane Blackburn, he had a cracking run in the first race, I think.
Yeah.
And he's doing it again, Matt.
You get some shots when going through that puddle on the start and finish. I looked over and just this wall of water coming towards me.
I understand the lads are saving that for the Christmas reel. So into the S's, bike 126 is Richard Holmes Williams running in third place. He lost second to Pete Ward. Now, do you know much about Dane's background apart from the pit bike racing? Because he certainly seems on it today.
Yeah, he used to race at BSB in the Superstock 1000, I think. Good few years ago, because Dane's been racing with us at least, well, since we started. He used to race for CW pit bikes in the Stock 140s and Stock 160s. But this season he's decided to concentrate on the CRFs. And I know for a fact he's done a huge amount of work on that bike over the winter. Yeah, but all these guys are experienced riders. At GYG, the CRF150 class, you had about 4 or 5 of the BSB paddock in there. You had Richard Cooper down there, Barry Burrell.
I think we've lost Sophie at the on the mountain section there.
No, that's
is that not
Sophie,
her?
that's number 64. That's Liam Bassett.
Well, he's been there a while, I think. Anyway, Richard Holmes Williams running in second place. He's it was 6 seconds off the lead at the end of lap 1, as Dane Blackburn is really putting the hammer down. Sam Jones has moved into third place now, ahead of Peter Ward.
I think Sam's one of the youngest lads on the grid today, definitely.
I'm trying to see whether or not he's wearing a pair of marigolds there. If I was racing go-karts, I'd have marigolds over my gloves in this weather.
Nice pink ones.
Well, fluorescent yellow was my chosen
You used to
colour.
wear marigolds over your gloves.
Yeah, well, we don't have leather gloves, so we have nylon.
Really?
So they get soaking wet in the rain.
You're not convincing me, mate. You're not
Well,
convincing me.
you just want to know that I used to race.
Apparently, I've been informed Tesco carry bags for feet and marigolds over your gloves.
Yeah.
Really?
Rubber overboots if you're posh. Anyway, the best wetsuits for karting were all motorbike suits, though, the oversuits.
Yeah. I can absolutely 100% assure you that marigold gloves and Tesco carry bags will not get past scrutineering.
Well, your British mini bikes is too professional. We just race go-karts. we run what you brung.
Tesco's carry bags.
It's advert.
Well, I know the question.
Sponsor.
The question was
Other carrier bags are available.
Was it a bag for life or was it one of the 5p jobs?
Well, you see, if it was a bag for life, you could wear them for years now.
Imagine taking that back to him. Sorry, it's broken. It's got a big hole in it. I've crashed. Can I have another one, please?
Anyway,
I'm racing next weekend.
this is British mini bikes. This is not carters reminiscing about shopping bags. We're going off on a bit of a tangent. Who are we looking at? Bike 32. Peter Ward. Now, he was in second, and I think he dropped back. And I think now he's dicing with Sam Jones.
No, it's Richard M. Williams. Pete Ward's now in second. Richard M. Williams in third. Looks like Dane's. His lap time's 1:23. Pete's running at 1:22, but it looks like Dane just seems to gap those second and third place.
He made a cracking start while you were getting soaked.
Yeah.
So
Make sure you
32 is
keep,
Pete Ward.
Make sure you keep commenting on the race. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know if you've got any questions.
So Pete Ward, bike 32, back ahead of Richard Holmes on bike 126. How much do you know about Pete Ward?
I don't know about Pete Ward, if I'm honest.
He's a man of mystery.
He is a man of mystery. Yeah. He's in the race number 007.
Well, he's pressing on now. He's 8 seconds off Dane Blackburn, but I think he's pegged him. Looking at best lap times, they're on a similar pace.
He's just about a second under, isn't he? Dane's running 1:23.7. Pete's on 1:22.1.
But you've got to think that maybe Dane has knocked it off a little now that he's got the gap that he can carry to the finish.
Yeah, possibly. So yeah, Dane's an experienced rider. So although I said before he'll be looking at, he won't be concentrating who's behind him.
Still raining heavily. It looks very wet out there. Be careful, everyone. Be safe. Sensible.
Yep. I can guarantee it has been raining.
Welcome to the British Mini Bike Water Bike Championship.
Out next after CRF150, we've got the Junior Supermotos. Coming through the pitch there, we had Les Noble, Ben Riley and Liam Bassett. They're battling out for 7th and through to 9th at the moment. Looks like Liam has managed to get his bike up and running. Slip machine down the straight into the S's. That's number 66. That's Leslie Noble. Just got ahead of Ben Riley. Obviously, Ben's not out on the CRF150. Ben's on probably the one and only pit bike open out there, which goes around the outside. That's a confident pass around the outside into that hairpin. We have number 64, Liam Bassett. Is he going to try and get past Leslie Noble? Going through the bus stop. Big puddle on the exit on the right hand side. Down the hill. Not close enough to get past this time. And it looks like Dane's now catching up with some of the back markers.
So we're into the closing stages then of this Honda CRF150 Pit Bike Open. I notice here on live timing we've got Honda CRF150 and CRF150. Is it Hondas and there's another kind of CRF150?
They're both the CRF150s.
Right.
And also we've got two strokes out there as well. Well, we did this morning. They're for two strokes running still. But you can run anything up to 110cc on the two strokes.
Okay. So I suspect this could be the last lap board coming out next time for Dame Blackburn. Pete Ward, has he made much of an impression? 3.6 seconds. I think he's running him down.
Definitely running him down.
Richard Holmes Williams holding at third place. I think he's pretty well got that one in the back, but although Sam Jones, bike 94, might be able to run him down before the finish, who's in a battle with X7 Simon Betts.
There's Dane coming up to their back markers now, so are they going to come into play with Pete in second?
So we're looking for bike 114, Dame Blackburn on the last lap now. So I suspect he's probably into the infield. There we go, into the S's, your race leader, Dane Blackburn, heading for a win here in race 2. I think that will make it a double. Just needs to get by the back marker. And he's through. Pete Ward, 3 seconds behind. I don't think he's going to be able to get there quick enough. Into the last corner then. Dame Blackburn wins the Pit Bike Open CRF 150 class race 2 here at Teesside Karting. Straight into Parc Fermé. Pete Ward has come through 2.8 seconds behind to finish in second. Richard Holmes Williams, I think, will be out of the last corner and through the finish. any moment now. He was 12 seconds behind. And we're Sam Jones in fourth in bike 94. Sam Betts will come through ahead, I suspect, of Ty Kinton.